not that much further.
I wonder. I love this moment because, like, I wonder from Chris's perspective how much this was reminding him of Piers and, his ending to RE6. Just, and also, like, I mean, we know how Ethan looks, but, like, blonde dude, young, like that correlation right there, young, white, blonde dude, similar hair. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Same fate.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong. God damn.
Especially that right there, the pushing away. So good.
Goodbye, Rosemary. Ethan.
Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Sorry, sir, I don't really want to
The Resident Evil games are the
I
perfect
love that green
balance
screen.
between horror and goofy charm.
Yeah.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
What is
They're
happening
like the
right
video game
now?
equivalent of those
Can it
cheesy
stop? Thank God. Hey, Hobie. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. That first person view at the end, and we see Ethan, he's got the bomb and everything. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. What if we had something similar for Piers in the inevitable RE6 remake? Come on, guys. Come on. Hear me out. Hear me out. What if the person who's playing, if they keep that multiplayer structure, which I think is integral to like the kind of experience that RE6 is, if they do that, I honestly think that 5 and 6 need so much love because there's like it's part of like RE, like it's part of Resident Evil history. I really think that they deserve so much love, and it should a potential remake should support single player campaigns while also supporting multiplayer campaigns as an homage to the original. And so hypothetically, if we keep this two-person structure, the person playing as Piers, I think that supporting a separate screen experience. This is hard to do, and I understand that, but Capcom has money, so make it work or something, I guess. I don't know. But you have that separate screen experience. Or maybe you share the screen at the same time. I don't know. But I just think that the person playing as Piers should be in control of Piers in his final moments, and to send out that electric bolt that kills Chaos. That sends out that bolt of electricity that ends up, killing Chaos and saves Chris. So I think that that's a fun, just like that ending to RE8. I think that that would work really well in an RE6 structure to Piers's campaign, and or Chris's campaign with Piers. He's there too, and I think that it would be this fun, tribute to the original, like keeping the original's story, like at its core, keeping it. I mean, also you could just keep him alive. That's fine, but keeping it, to its core while also paying homage to Resident Evil 8 and Ethan's, sacrifice, and how that happens to Chris, paying homage to a future game in the entry while also keeping the original story that happened like 10 years before that entry to the game, which, it's like it feels out of order because, it's 8 is paying homage to 6, but a potential 6 remake would come out after 8 and would pay homage to 8. And it's just this duo, like, Chris keeps losing everyone kind of thing that I think is interesting to have. And also, I think it's such a fun contrast to go between 5, where Chris hypothetically lost someone, and at the end of the game, he didn't. and it's a very happy ending for him, for what it's worth, right? I mean, there's so much happening in 5 that is not good, but at the end of the day, he thought he lost Jill and he didn't. And so it's just like, if The Last of Us 1 is about love, then The Last of Us 2 is about hate. And so, like, if RE5 is, that happiness for Chris, RE6 is that devastation, and then RE7 introduces Ethan, which leads up to RE8, which furthers that devastation, that cycle of Chris keeps losing everybody. And I really like that. I think there's a lot of potential there. I know Piers was going to be his replacement originally, like from the storyboard perspective, but also from Chris's perspective in the story. And I think that, going with this direction with this character is really interesting. So that's my take. That's my take. I just think that I just love RE5 and I love Resident Evil 6, and there's room in the remake canon to alter these stories to fit what they've done with the remake trajectory, while also making them more, making them more aware of what they're doing and talking about. Specifically with Resident Evil 5, there's a lot more awareness that needs to happen when you're dealing with such a geopolitical game. And it's not that they made it geopolitical. It is geopolitical by nature because it takes place in Africa, which is different than it taking place in Europe or China. You know what I mean? So recognizing that difference, and it's not inherently a bad difference. It's just that you have to actually recognize that difference. And RE6 is different because it takes place in so many places, but it's less charged like RE5 is, because of its location. So there's room for RE5 and RE6. And I think it's going to be really interesting to catch up to the Resident Evil timeline with the remakes, because RE7 was like our return to horror. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, RE5 and RE6 are kind of our final remakes. I mean, we have, Outbreak, and we have Code Veronica, and we have Dead Aim. Like, we have a couple others, but just RE0, we have other options. But I just think that, main title Resident Evil remakes, we only have 2 left. And I'm not saying they're going to come out immediately. I'm just thinking that within the next 10 years we're going to be all caught up. So just interesting to think about.